So how does that team function? You're the lead guy on these projects, but what do you sort of leave to other people who work with you, and how does that work?
Oh, I leave a lot. I'm called Morphosis, and it started in 1972, and it was a kind of very 60s idea, I guess, but it was an idea about a collective practice. I was looking at film a lot, and I saw architecture very parallel to film in its collaborative nature. And it was very conscious of removing authorship in a singular way, Thom Mayne, out of the firm, and putting a name. It happens to be the Morphosis is very generic, the development of form. It applies to architecture and to planning and to landscape and to industrial design, etc. And we very much work like that. I guess my position, very simply, would be that of the auteur, the director, and then I'm definitely guiding conceptually the interests, etc., of the group. But it's just the way you're asking about preconceived ideas. There's discussions, and sometimes I'm putting down the first kind of hunch, and it's in somewhat form already. It's formed as that something's closer to architecture, and other times it's just ideas. It'll be about the land, or it's about a slope, or it's about a force of movement, or it's about something. There'll be just words. And then we start working back and forth. And it's a collective practice. I think if you asked other people in my profession, they would see our practice as being very clearly a very particular type of practice, which is represents where I'm the leadership and I'm part of the directorship, but it's absolutely collaborative. And then, of course, with that comes the huge numbers of people that work on large-scale projects, the structural engineers and the mechanical engineers and the landscape architects and the cost estimators, on and on. I left a meeting today on the same project, and there were 20 of us at the table, and we're in the very beginning of the project, just introducing the basic components of getting a pre-schematic, the beginning kind of essence of what a project is going to be going. And I love that.
I was going to ask if you enjoy that part of it.
I love working with a lot of people. A lot of people think of the kind of the Ayn Rand, Frank Lloyd Wright idea of an architect. Actually, that comes up with a lot of your questions. You enter the room, everything's in your brain, wherever it's located, and you have this incredible kind of creative instinct, and you already have this kind of genius idea in your head, and you're going to lay it down and show it to somebody. And for me, completely the opposite. Kind of walk in the room, absolutely kind of black, nothing up there. You start discussion, and to put me in a room by myself with my equipment, I'd go nutty. I wouldn't develop anything. I need interaction. I need pushback. I need the kind of dynamicism of kind of the group activity to develop the creative act. And even more than that, more than one project. I need minimum of 3 or 4 projects to work at simultaneously.
So you don't want your vision
focused. I find a relationship
focused.
between projects that you'll be working on this desk on one project, and it seems to be about something, and all of a sudden you find out the discussions is important to somebody else over here doing another project, and it just is this cross-fertilization. And it's like the synaptic kind of activity in your brain, I think, left-right, that takes place and kind of how we think. But it's seen as a collective activity.